Chosen one. What I'm about to share with you is not just important, it is urgent. This is not just another message, and you are not here by accident. God Himself has led you here. You may not fully understand why, but deep down, you can feel it. Something powerful is shifting in your life. There's a reason why you clicked on this video. There's a reason why, out of everything you could be doing right now, you're here, listening to these words. This is not coincidence. You have been praying, hoping, and waiting for a breakthrough. And now, it's here. But listen carefully, not everyone will step into this transformation. Some will hear this message and ignore it. Some will let fear keep them from taking action. Some will remain stuck in the same cycle of doubt and hesitation. But I believe you are different. I believe you are one of the few who will recognize this divine moment for what it truly is, a call to step into your destiny. This is not just a mental shift, this is a spiritual transformation. This is the moment where heaven aligns with earth and everything God has prepared for you is being set in motion. But make no mistake, this is also a test of faith. The enemy wants to keep you where you are, trapped in fear, insecurity, and hesitation. He will whisper doubts in your ear. He will make you believe that you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. But that's a lie. Do you think David felt ready when he stood before Goliath? Do you think Moses felt qualified when God called him to lead an entire nation? God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. And right now, He is calling you. This is your moment. A moment to break free. A moment to step out of the shadows of fear and into the light of your purpose. But it requires action. If you don't move now, you may miss what God is trying to do in your life. And I don't want that for you. If your spirit is stirring right now, if something inside of you is saying, "This is for me," then don't ignore it. Step into this moment. Declare it now. Hit the like button, subscribe, and comment 9 below. This isn't just about engaging with a video, this is a declaration of faith. A signal to the heavens. A sign that you are ready to move. God is watching. Heaven is listening. The breakthrough is here. The shift has begun. But the question is, will you step into it? Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. A divine moment of decision. A place where the path before you splits in two, one leading to breakthrough and blessing, the other leading to stagnation and missed opportunity. Which direction will you choose? Make no mistake, God has prepared you for this exact moment. Every challenge you have faced, every trial you have endured, and every lesson you have learned has brought you right here. But now, the decision is no longer in His hands, it's in yours. You can step forward in faith, embrace the transformation, and walk boldly into the life that has been prepared for you. Or, you can hesitate. You can let fear convince you that you're not ready. You can allow doubt to whisper that this isn't your time. But hear me now, hesitation is a decision. Doubt is a thief. And fear is a liar. The enemy knows the power of this moment. He knows what's at stake. That's why, right now, he's working overtime to cloud your mind. He's whispering thoughts like, what if you fail? What if you're not strong enough? What if you're making a mistake? But let me remind you, God does not bring you this far just to leave you. Think of Peter standing on the water. One step of faith allowed him to do the impossible. But the moment he doubted, he sank. The miracle was in the movement, but the failure was in the hesitation. Which will you choose today? If you can feel the weight of this moment, if your heart is racing, if your spirit is stirring, if you know deep down that this message is for you, then this is your confirmation. God is speaking to you right now. He is saying, trust me. Move forward. The blessing is waiting on the other side of your obedience. I need to ask you, do you have the courage to step into the destiny that God has prepared for you? Will you rise above the fear, the doubt, the hesitation, and claim what is yours? Or will you let this moment slip away? If you're ready to choose faith over fear, declare it right now. Comment below, "I will step into my destiny." This isn't just a comment, it's a declaration. A statement to yourself, to heaven, and to the enemy that you refuse to stay stuck. This is more than just a mindset shift, this is spiritual warfare. The battle isn't just for your future, it's for your soul. And right now, in this moment, you get to decide the outcome. So, I ask you again, will you take the step? Will you claim the life that God has prepared for you? Or will you let doubt steal your breakthrough? The choice is yours. The moment of destiny is here, and you can feel it deep within your soul. This is not just another day. This is not just another message. This is a divine appointment between you and God. You are standing at a crossroads, and the decision you make today will determine the course of your future. You are either stepping into the greatest breakthrough of your life, or you are allowing fear, doubt, and hesitation to rob you of everything God has prepared for you. But here's the question, what does it actually mean to take action? What does stepping forward in faith look like in your life? Because the truth is, many people want to change, but they don't know how. Many people pray for an answer, but when the answer comes, they don't recognize it. They wait for a sign, not realizing that this moment, right here, is the sign they have been waiting for. Taking action means surrendering to God's plan fully and completely. No more, one foot in, one foot out. No more hesitating. No more waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. It means saying yes to the calling on your life, even when it feels uncomfortable. It means obeying God's voice, even when it doesn't make logical sense. When God told Abraham to leave everything he knew and go to a land he had never seen, Abraham didn't argue, he didn't negotiate, he didn't delay. He moved. And because he moved, he became the father of nations. What if your hesitation is the only thing standing between you and your promise? Taking action means releasing what no longer serves you. There are people, habits, and mindsets in your life that are keeping you stuck. You know it. You feel it. Yet, you hold on because it's familiar, because it's comfortable, because letting go feels too painful. But let me ask you, how much longer will you allow your past to hold your future hostage? How much longer will you let fear make your decisions? Fear is a liar. Fear will tell you that you're not ready. Fear will tell you that it's too late. Fear will tell you that you're not good enough. But God says otherwise. He says you are chosen. He says you are equipped. He says you are more than a conqueror. Who will you believe? Taking action means doing the thing that scares you. It's making that phone call. It's sending that email. It's applying for that opportunity. It's starting that project. It's showing up, even when you don't feel ready. Too many people wait until they feel ready before they move. But that's not how faith works. You don't move because you feel ready, you move because you trust God. And when you move, that's when miracles happen. When Peter saw Jesus walking on water, he didn't wait for the water to become solid before stepping out. He stepped out, and the water held him up. The miracle happened after the action. What miracle is waiting for you on the other side of your obedience? And let's be real, taking action doesn't always mean giant leaps. Sometimes, it's the small steps that make the biggest difference. Maybe today, it's not about making a drastic change, but about deciding that you will no longer live in fear. Maybe it's choosing to replace negative thoughts with God's promises. Maybe it's speaking life over yourself instead of doubt. Maybe it's simply deciding that you will no longer settle for less than what God has for you. Because the truth is, every great transformation starts with one small step. What small step can you take today? Now is the time to declare it. Don't just think about it. Don't just feel inspired for a moment and then go back to life as usual. Make a commitment. Declare in the comments what step you will take today. Speak it into existence. What are you leaving behind? What are you stepping into? What are you trusting God for? Don't let this moment pass without making a decision. Because this is not just another message. This is your call to action. God is waiting for you, but He won't wait forever. The question is, will you move, or will you miss it? The enemy will stop at nothing to keep you from your breakthrough. The moment you step closer to your destiny, the attacks intensify. Doubt begins to whisper in your mind, distractions start to pull you away, and suddenly, everything seems more difficult than before. Have you ever noticed that when you try to commit to something great, obstacles appear out of nowhere? It's not a coincidence. The enemy knows that you are on the verge of something powerful, and he will do anything to stop you from stepping into what God has prepared for you. One of the enemy's greatest weapons is deception. He plants seeds of doubt and fear, making you question yourself. Are you really chosen? Do you really think you can do this? What if you fail? He reminds you of every mistake, every weakness, every moment of struggle, hoping that you will believe the lie that you are not enough. But here's the truth, God has already given you everything you need to succeed. You were not chosen by accident. You were not called without purpose. Before you were even born, God had already placed greatness inside of you. The enemy can try to cloud your mind, but he cannot change the truth of who you are. Look at the story of Nehemiah. When he set out to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, his enemies did everything they could to stop him. They mocked him, threatened him, and tried to distract him. But Nehemiah refused to listen to their voices. Instead, he said, "I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down." Nehemiah 6 verse 3. That is the mindset you must have. When negativity tries to pull you away, when fear tries to make you stop, declare, "I am doing a great work, and I will not be distracted." The enemy will also use distractions. Not everything that takes your attention is from God. Sometimes, the things that seem harmless, a conversation, a new opportunity, a temporary pleasure, are actually designed to keep you from focusing on what truly matters. If the enemy cannot destroy you, he will distract you. He will fill your schedule with things that keep you busy but not productive. He will surround you with people who speak doubt instead of faith. He will tempt you to waste time worrying instead of trusting. Have you ever found yourself spending hours thinking about things that don't matter, instead of working toward the purpose God has given you? That's exactly what the enemy wants. And then there are the lies. The enemy will try to convince you that you are not worthy of God's blessings. He will remind you of your past, hoping you will feel too ashamed to step into your future. But listen to me, your past does not define you, God's promise does. It does not matter where you came from, it matters where God is taking you. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Do you believe that? Because if you do, then you must silence every voice that says otherwise. So now, I ask you, are you going to let these lies control your life? Are you going to allow the enemy to steal what rightfully belongs to you? Or will you rise up in faith and take back what God has promised? Right now, declare in the comments, "I refuse to let the enemy steal my destiny." Let this be your moment of decision. Let this be the moment you say, "No more." No more fear. No more distractions. No more lies. You are chosen. You are equipped. And you are stepping into your breakthrough, right now. Doubt is one of the greatest enemies of destiny. It creeps in slowly, whispering lies that make you question your worth, your purpose, and even your faith. It tells you that you are not good enough, that you are not ready, that you will fail. But let me remind you, doubt is not from God. It is a weapon of the enemy, designed to keep you from stepping into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. When doubt arises, you must fight back, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with the Word of God. In 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." That means that every time doubt tries to take hold of you, you have the authority to rebuke it. You have the power to say, "This is not from God. I reject it. I choose faith." Think about Peter walking on water. As long as his eyes were fixed on Jesus, he did the impossible. But the moment he let fear and doubt enter his mind, he began to sink. What does that tell us? It tells us that doubt only has power when we give it our attention. It tells us that the moment we take our eyes off God and focus on the storm, we start to fall. But here's the good news: Jesus didn't let Peter drown, and he won't let you drown either. The moment Peter cried out, Jesus reached out his hand and pulled him back up. That is exactly what God will do for you. Even if you've let doubt slow you down, even if you've hesitated, God is still right there, ready to lift you back up and set you back on course. But you have to make a choice. Are you going to let doubt dictate your future? Or are you going to stand on God's promises and move forward in faith? I know that sometimes the fear feels overwhelming. I know that stepping into the unknown can be terrifying. But let me tell you something: greatness is always on the other side of fear. Every person who has ever done something extraordinary had to face doubt and push through it. Look at Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before he successfully invented the light bulb. What if he had let doubt stop him? What if he had given up after the first failure? We might still be living in darkness. His persistence changed the world. And your persistence, your willingness to trust God even when doubt tries to pull you away, will change your life. So I ask you, do you believe that God has a greater plan for your life? Do you believe that He has already given you the strength to overcome every challenge? If you do, then this is the moment to declare it. Right now, write in the comments, "I choose faith over doubt." Let this be the moment you silence every lie that says you're not enough. Let this be the moment you step boldly into what God has already promised. Doubt may come, but it does not have to win. You are stronger than your fears. You are greater than your insecurities. And you are stepping into victory, right now. Keep your eyes on Jesus, keep moving forward, and watch as He takes you to places you never imagined. This is your time. This is your breakthrough. And nothing, no doubt, no fear, no lie, can stop what God has already set in motion for you. Faith is not just a belief, it is action. It is movement. It is stepping forward when nothing makes sense, when fear is screaming at you to stay where you are. Faith is what turns promises into reality, what transforms prayers into breakthroughs. But here is the truth: faith without action is dead. You cannot simply wait for your destiny to come to you. You must move toward it. Too often, people convince themselves that they need to feel ready before they act. They tell themselves, "I'll start when I have more money, I'll obey when the timing is better, or I'll follow God's calling when I feel more confident." But let me tell you something: if you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever. God never called people who were fully prepared. He called those who were willing. Look at Joseph. He was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. From the outside, it looked like his life was falling apart. But in reality, God was preparing him for something greater than he could ever imagine. Every trial Joseph faced was a step toward his ultimate destiny. He didn't wait for perfect circumstances, he remained faithful wherever he was placed. And because he walked in faith, he went from being a prisoner to the Prime Minister of Egypt. That is how God works. He is not looking for perfect people, He is looking for obedient people. People who will take the first step even when they don't see the whole path. People who will trust that if God says, "Go," then there is already a way made for them. So I ask you, are you willing to step out even when you don't have all the answers? Are you willing to trust God even when everything in you is screaming for security and comfort? If you say yes, then now is the time to move. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Right now. If Joseph had hesitated, if he had let fear stop him, he would have never reached the palace. What about you? What blessings, what breakthroughs, what miracles are waiting for you on the other side of your obedience? Are you willing to move in faith even when you don't feel qualified? Because here's the truth, if God called you, then He already qualified you. The promise is already yours, but you must take the step. So right now, I want you to declare your faith. Write in the comments, I am walking in faith. Let the enemy hear you. Let fear hear you. Let doubt hear you. This is your moment to say, I will no longer wait. I will no longer hesitate. I trust God's plan, and I will move forward, no matter what. This is how doors open. This is how destinies are unlocked. This is how you walk into the life God has been preparing for you. Take the step, trust His word, and watch as He moves mountains in your favor. Your time is now. Are you ready? Something is shifting in your life right now. You may not see it fully yet, but God is opening a door for you. It's a door that leads to transformation, a door that leads to breakthrough, a door that leads to the life He has been preparing for you. But here's the truth, not everyone walks through the door when it opens. Some hesitate. Some allow fear to keep them frozen. And some, without even realizing it, let the door close before they ever take the step. But that will not be you. Because today, you are being called to prepare yourself for the change that is coming. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary, and God is asking you, are you ready? Transformation is never accidental. It requires preparation. You cannot enter a new season with the mindset of the old one. You cannot step into greater blessings while still carrying the weight of past doubts. When God opens a door, He expects you to walk through it with faith, with readiness, and with trust. This is why the process of preparation is just as important as the breakthrough itself. Are you making room for what God is about to do in your life? Or are you still holding on to the things that belong to the past? Look at the story of Noah. God told him to prepare for something that had never happened before. The skies were clear, the land was dry, and yet, God told him to build an ark. Can you imagine the doubts he must have battled? The people who laughed at him. The questions he asked himself late at night. But Noah understood something that most people miss. When God tells you to prepare, you don't wait for visible signs, you move in faith. And because he obeyed, he and his family were saved from the storm. What is God telling you to prepare for right now? Maybe He's been nudging you to take a step, to start a business, to leave a toxic environment, to deepen your spiritual walk, to let go of old habits, to move into a new opportunity. Maybe He has been calling you to elevate your mindset, to increase your faith, to position yourself for something greater. If He has been speaking to your spirit, this is your confirmation. The door is already open, but only those who are prepared will be able to step through it. So, how do you prepare for divine transformation? First, you must remove distractions. The enemy will use anything, fear, doubt, negativity, to keep you from seeing what God is doing. What in your life is keeping you from moving forward? What voices are feeding you doubt instead of faith? It's time to clear the noise and fix your eyes on what God is revealing to you. Second, you must strengthen your faith. When Joshua and the Israelites were preparing to enter the promised land, God didn't tell them to fight harder, He told them to meditate on His word day and night. He told them to fill their hearts and minds with His truth because He knew that faith is the fuel that moves us through open doors. Right now, you are being called to get ready. Whatever that looks like for you, it's time to take action. God will not force you through the door, but He has already placed everything you need inside of you to walk into this next season with confidence. Will you step forward? Will you prepare yourself for what's coming? Or will you let fear keep you stuck where you are? Declare it now, I am ready to walk into my next season. Let this be the moment where you align your heart, your mind, and your actions with what God is doing. Say it out loud. Write it in the comments. Let it be a public declaration that you will not miss what God has for you. The door is open. The invitation has been given. The question is, will you walk through it? As we come to the conclusion of this message, I want you to take a deep breath and truly reflect on what has been spoken into your life today. This is not just another video. This is not just another moment that passes by and fades into the background of your busy life. This is a divine appointment. You have been called to hear these words for a reason, and the time to act is now. Everything you have been praying for, everything you have been hoping for, is within reach. But it requires something from you. It requires faith, not just in words but in action. It requires the courage to move forward even when fear tells you to stay where you are. It requires trust, even when you cannot see the full picture. You are standing at the edge of something great. You may feel uncertain. You may feel hesitant. But let me tell you this, your hesitation will not change God's plan, but it can delay it. The doors have been opened before you, and the only thing left to do is step through. No more waiting. No more doubting. No more allowing the enemy to convince you that you are not ready. You are ready because God has made you ready. You are prepared because every trial, every struggle, and every challenge you have faced has been preparing you for this very moment. The pain you have endured has not been in vain. It has been the refining fire shaping you for the destiny that awaits. If you have been feeling stuck, if you have been feeling like something is holding you back, know that you are not alone. Everyone who has ever stepped into their purpose has had to overcome that voice of doubt, that feeling of uncertainty. But the difference between those who walk into their breakthrough and those who remain in the same place is the decision to act. It's the decision to trust. Right now, make the decision that you will no longer let fear control you. Make the decision that you will walk forward into what has already been prepared for you. If your heart is open, if your spirit is ready, I want you to take a moment and declare it. Speak it into existence. Type it in the comments and claim it over your life. I am ready for my breakthrough. Let this be more than just words, let it be a commitment to yourself and to the journey ahead. Do not leave this message unchanged. Do not walk away and forget the stirring that you feel inside you right now. Hold on to it. Nurture it. Act on it. I want to take a moment to thank you for being here, for listening, for opening your heart to this message. You are here for a reason, and I want you to know that you are never alone on this journey. Every step you take, God is walking with you. Every battle you face, He is fighting for you. And every time you feel like giving up, He is there, lifting you up and reminding you of who you are. You are chosen. You are called. You are destined for something greater than what you see right now. If this message has spoken to you, if you feel a shift happening in your spirit, do not stop here. Stay connected. Subscribe so you never miss another word of encouragement, another reminder of who you are and what you are capable of. This is not just about hearing a message, it's about building a life that aligns with the purpose you were created for. Click that subscribe button, because your journey does not end here. It is only just beginning. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Hold on to that truth. Walk in faith. Move forward with confidence. The best is yet to come.